Hello, little ones. Would you like to hear a story? I've got one for you. Of dungeons and douchebags. Long ago, the land of Irion was governed by many majestic empires. The humans of the plains, the elves of the forest, the Oreads of the mountains, the Merrow of the oceans, and the kobolds and Okiti taking what was left. But, as is so common amongst all with darkness in their hearts, those who had power would not be satisfied until they had more. War broke out, alliances being made and broken in a second, as the once civilized races slew each other in droves in vain attempts to get one more seat of power. The kobolds, on the brink of annihilation, sought out a new draconic god who would protect them. Instead, they found Jogotha. A powerful and terrible dragon, Jogotha cared not for the suffering of those around him. Taking advantage of the warring continent, Jogotha razed Irion to the ground, seeking to carve a mighty empire in his name. A last desperate alliance stood firm against Jogotha, and after a terrible battle, the dragon was finally slain. With Irion torn apart, and no one in any shape to continue the war, an armistice was reached, and the Great War ended. Now, many years later, Irion has started to rebuild, and the age of clockwork has begun. And our unlikely heroes, gathered first to celebrate a harvest festival, may soon find themselves at the center of another war. Trevlon, the halfling bard.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this mystery right after I've had this little nap.
Corellian, the kobold paladin.
You must understand, I will do whatever it takes.
Malifane, the half-elf rogue.
You have me rather curious. Tell me something about you.
Thavagath, the Goliath barbarian.
With victory comes honor. And goes.
And Momo, the Arakakra cleric.
You seem tense. Let me help you.
From humble beginnings, these brave adventurers may soon find themselves the key to saving the fallen empires.
Last time on Dungeons and Douchebags, Fallen Empires. Our heroes fought valiantly against the mutant rats, including ones that could fly and shoot lasers from beholder-like eye stalks, and were aided in their battle by Ari, the merfolk dancer from the Fiery Grog Tavern, who was hiding out after being framed alongside Toftir Duflame, the bartender, for smuggling. Ari explained that she was trying to find and retrieve the Rat King, in the hopes that bringing back the true culprit would get her job back and set Toftir free. Our heroes fled back to the auction house, where they found the banker, Nalur Nulad, interrogating Remeg as to how he managed to get 125,000 gold up for a counterbid. Nalur was going to have the Okiti hoard inspected to make sure it wasn't stolen, and thus counterfeit goods which could not be used in the bid. While our heroes tried to contact Stormkirk to have him make a deal with the Okiti to pool their resources, and Stormkirk said no deal. Our heroes returned to council with Jemvik, who didn't seem all that worried, but was also not busy gathering evidence. He explained that since there was an attack in the streets, obviously Nalur Nulad would be on high alert, and trying anything now would likely end in disaster. So he intended to wait the situation out and make Nalur desperate before attempting anything. In the meantime, he suggested our heroes take a look around to see what businesses might have been funded by Nalur Nulad, and thus might have been fronts for where he was keeping Captain Vincent. Our heroes went back to the marketplace and searched many stores, up to and including a griffin mercantile trading company that did not sell griffins. Their investigations were interrupted, however, when one of Nalur Nulad's men stumbled out of an alleyway in front of them and collapsed on the ground, covered in boils and most likely dead. What had happened to Nalur's man? Where is Captain Vincent being kept? Are they going to see more laser rats? Because honestly, after the laser rats, the day just gets worse from there. Find out on the next episode of Dungeons and Douchebags, Fallen Empires.
It's 3:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, it's not. It's Central Standard Time. I lied to you. Do you know where the children are? I'm Alex Beckham, and welcome to Fallen Empires. Nice. Welcome to Fallen Empires. We've got, we've got our usual cast of characters. We've got a mustachioed Malifane, as played by Scott.
Allow me to sing you the song of Remeg's people. Jellicle, songs for Jellicle rats. Jellicle, songs for... Okay, I'm done.
Okay. We've got Jojo.
The good shit.
I see. We've got Phil.
Well, there goes our monetization.
We've got Atlas.
The internet is like layers. You don't go down further than one.
And we have Walrus.
Let me just get some of that delicious stream juice. It's on me. It's everywhere. Oh shit.
I can't believe you just streamed everywhere.
What did Atlas just say?
No streaming in public.
I can't believe. Alright, stream's over. I can't fucking believe you all.
Well, fuck.
Good night, everybody. Alright.
So who did give me a mustache?
Yeah. I am curious about that. Who fess up?
Oh, that was me, sorry.
Alright.
And suddenly it all falls into place.
It all makes sense now.
I see. When last we left off, our heroes are in the middle of investigating some businesses in the market district of Port Mirandu when a mercenary who was under the employ of Nalur Nulad, the banker, stepped out of an alleyway, coughing, and collapsed in front of them with several boils on him. So, you know, that's fun.
First point of call. Does this look contagious?
Make a medicine check. You have no idea.
I don't
try?
know if... Yeah.
Second point. Does he actually look dead or is he unconscious?
Make a medicine check.
Oh boy.
That's a separate medicine, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I'll take the 16, because I heard Momo say I want to try, so I'll assume Momo's helping. Alright.
Hey!
Cool. You take a look. It does not look contagious. But he also does not seem to be breathing as a result of the boils. A lot of them are gathered around his throat, so you would wager a guess they are obstructing his breathing and obstructed it enough that he is pretty much out. Like dead out.
Oh no.
Oh, frick! I want to heal him, I want to help!
So, no, I'm gonna say as in beyond saving help, or...
Like, since he just walked out of the alley, he would have been dead for like a couple of seconds at most.
Momo?
So wait, can I revive him?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Okay, Momo doesn't even think, he just like bolts over there and just like goes through his bag to see if he can find any coins. It's about 300 gold, right?
Revivify is, I think...
200, I thought it was.
It's definitely not 200.
No, it's a diamond worth 300, or some the equivalent of 300, or something
Yeah,
like that.
300. Basically, the way I have material components work is rather than having you go out and buy specifically a bunch of diamonds worth 300 gold, I just deduct it from whatever you're carrying on hand under the assumption that you have it.
I wish you had something to say?
Yeah, did you say something, Atlas?
I didn't say something. First off, Phil, mute yourself in the Hangouts. Second off, this is all well and good, but since they have it handled, is there anything in the alley that he just stumbled out of? That we can discern, like a culprit or something like that?
I'm assuming that you want to get this done really quickly, so make a perception check to see if there's anything in there.
Awesome.
You squint into the alley because there's still daylight out, and you're used to working in the dark. Looks like an alleyway.
Can I look
Somebody
as well?
check that alley.
I'm on it.
All right.
Yeah. Shall we let that happen first before we talk about whether or not we have enough money to revive this guy?
I have about 180 gold.
Here's the thing about Revivify. You need to cast it within a minute.
Okay.
Okay, rummage through his personal belongings first, because I don't know the dude.
Okay. Fair enough. Momo like looks at Trevlon in a panic, like, "Help me!"
Fav, how much money do you have on you right now?
Enough, and okay, what do I have to roll to look through his shit? Because no one's done that yet.
Make an investigation check.
Quick investigation. All right.
Quick investigation. Make it with disadvantage.
Oh, you. Investigation. There it is again.
Fuck.
All right. Your investigation basically consists of ripping a pouch from off his belt and shaking it. Let me actually go to the table to see what people like this guy would be carrying. I won't count this as time against reviving, don't worry.
This isn't gonna make
Thank
us,
you.
This isn't gonna make us look any better.
It's really not. In the meantime, while you're doing that, Malifane, make a perception check into the alley.
You got it. Perception.
You take a quick look into the alley. There doesn't appear to be anyone else from that direction, but given your previous experience with people getting away, you look downwards, and there's a rather fresh scent coming out of a sewer manhole in this alleyway.
Oh, not again. Just a thought. Does it smell like... Okay, this is gonna sound dumb, but does it smell like anything in particular, or is it just sewer?
It smells like liquid ass.
Sewer, got it.
No. If it smelled like sewer, I would say sewer.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, I've heard this phrase before.
This smells like liquid ass.
Oh
have
no,
heard this
it's the
phrase
dreaded ass
before.
liquefier.
No, there's literally a stink spray available commercially that you can buy.
You have used this phrase before
No,
to
no, no.
describe a character.
Have you?
I feel like he has.
He has. This is not the first time I've heard that particular
All
sentence.
right.
But I think, and this is just me being cynical of Alex because I've kind of gone used to that feeling. I think he also used that to describe the sewer.
Mm-hmm. All right, Thavagath, you rip out the pouch, give it a quick shake. 15 silver pieces fall from it.
Aurelian winces and shoves over 300 gold.
Thank you so much. I'll pay you back as soon as
10,
I can.
9, 8, 7,
Revive.
6.
Revive! Do it! Do it, please! No! Oh, okay,
All
thank
right.
God.
You pull out some diamonds.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Sprinkle it on. Oh!
I panicked!
That guy is now like part
He's
cat.
so
He has multiple
alive.
lives.
That man is incredibly revived. Yeah, you're pretty sure he's immune to death now.
He's become a celestial spirit.
You sprinkle some diamonds over the body, place your hands down, chant a few words, and then press them down. The diamonds sprinkle into dust, and the mercenary opens his eyes and goes.
Aurelian slaps a hand down, a claw down, and expends 5 charges of lay on hands to try and cure the disease.
All right, cool.
Can
You
Momo help with this?
well, it's just
Or
a
do I not
paladin
have to
ability.
do stuff?
It's something
Oh, okay.
that he can just do. You put a hand down on the mercenary, and the bulges around his throat start slowly like deflating and collapsing before just like falling off of his neck. It looks nasty as hell,
Ooh.
but his breathing is slowly becoming more regular.
Nobody else touched those.
Yeah, no need to tell me twice.
Are you alright, sir?
Yeah.
He looks up at you and just and shakes his head as he tries to get speech back. It looks like that might be a little bit.
Trevlon points his finger at him and casts a message and asks, "We want to find out who did this. What do you remember?"
The lad sent us down into the sewers. Try and find where the rat men were hiding. All I remember is roars and gurgles. Boys got pulled down under the water. Some kind of gas got released. As far as I can tell, I'm the only one alive.
And only barely.
Alex, does this sound like sort of... When I was looking at the rat men initially on that ship, did it look like there were any spellcasters or anything like that that could pull something like that? Because that seems very magical to me.
Make an Arcana check.
Fuck.
It's possible the Okiti have some knowledge of spellcasting.
To be honest, mate, I don't mean to... Unfortunately, at the moment, it doesn't seem like the Okiti are the only people who are frequenting those sewers. Might have been something even worse. Okay. Hold on. You said that Nulad was sending you down to the sewers to find the ratmen where they were hiding. They live on the ship. Why would you search there if the ship's so easy to access just on the docks?
You think that hasn't already been done? Raid happened this morning. Apparently, all the people they kidnapped weren't down there. Next most likely place would be down in the shit.
Not to, I think the Okita are at least a little bit more classy than that. At the very least, I think they treat their prisoners a little bit better. But I understand.
He coughs and then starts struggling to speak. They're fucking rats, dude.
Even Thavagath starts visibly wincing at this. Just like...
Trev, ask him where this happened.
Points, messages. Where this happened?
He coughs again. Down in the sewers. Hard to remember. It was...
Right.
Please let me explain first. Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah. Don't remember exactly. It was dark down there. Torches were the first thing to go out. Just kept running till I saw light and climbed up.
Do you remember which part of the city you entered the sewers from?
Started around the official district, near the guild halls. That was where we got the order. That was closest access point.
You walk for a long time before you get ambushed?
Must have been for a couple of hours.
Right. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna roll inside just to see if he's actively lying about anything that he's just said.
Okay.
It's inside, right?
Keep in mind, I'm conveying what he's saying.
Well, he is slowly but surely speaking up, rather than you messaging him. Thavagath, this man just died in front of you and you brought him back to life. Why would he lie? That's being a dick.
No, I don't know, man. I've been in situations where there's a lot of information to just give some strangers, even if they did revive you. But
I mean, the way I figure, when you die and a raise dead spell happens, you get basic information. Hey guys, someone's trying to bring you back from the dead. Do you accept the charges and the collect call? And he's like, yes, so he knows who you are and that you brought him back to life. So rather than be a dick to you about that...
Fair play. I didn't know that's how it worked.
Okay.
So
I'm just going to say you generally know that without a religion or arcana roll, because that's a pretty common story about a world where revival magic is common.
Fair play.
Alright. point a message, just to make this slightly easier. We're trying to make sure that that sort of thing doesn't happen again. Is there any important information you could tell us that you've not already mentioned?
Nothing comes to mind. He seems to be racking his brain. Sorry, a little bit addled, 'cause, I think I've been alive for about 5 minutes now, if that.
It's not been long. Is there anybody in the street that looks trustworthy enough to take this man to a healer? Like a proper one?
The market streets are pretty packed. Now that the dude's not dead, people are slowly but surely starting to pass by.
I don't know if we've got really time to escort... How close is the local healer, if I may ask? If there is one.
Close enough that someone could probably escort him.
Okay, I sort of get the attention of somebody who's passing by. I would like to roll persuasion as I basically tell this person, hey, this person just died and came back to life. Can you take a little time out your day to just get him help?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, maybe.
You say that to the rando, and then as you explain, no wait, this man is dead, they're like, oh yeah, sure, definitely. And they take time out of their day to sling an arm under his shoulder, help walk him off, without expecting any payment in return.
Nice man.
Yeah.
Nice whoever that was. Okay. Since I don't think we have any real... Well, we've got nothing particularly... concrete in terms of bad things happening apart from that, so who's in the mood to go of bits? Spelunking anybody? Who wants to do that?
Well, as far as I can tell, Malphane's already at least dipped his head in there.
Yeah, Mal, you've been looking this whole time, so make an investigation check.
Alrighty. Investigation.
Nice. Alright. From what you can tell, Malphane, the sewers, cramped as they are, would not have been able to hold something that could have poisoned this guy immediately. So, whatever story you heard about him having to run away a while before climbing back up is probably accurate. That being said, there was also a blood trail following him out.
Blood trail.
Where's
Did
it
he
leading
happen to
him,
have
or-
any...
Following him out of the sewers.
He didn't have any wound... Okay, this is gonna sound dumb. He didn't have any wounds, did he? Any stab or piercing wounds?
I'm going to say, since you made that medicine check, as I scroll up through the 50 revives,
I'm sorry, I panicked. It was lagging.
okay. No, he did not have any visible wounds on him.
It's too risky to go back down there myself.
And it's around this point where your friends are behind you like, hey, Malphane, what'd you find?
I relay them the information that I was able to gather. So this wasn't caused by any force. This was... I'm not even sure what it was.
Where does the blood trail end? Does it end before the sewer entrance, or...?
It ends before the ladder that leads up to the surface.
But there wasn't any blood on the surface.
No blood on the surface. It's just a blood trail that starts around 20 feet from the ladder and then continues onward through the darkness.
Well, looks like we're going blood following, guys.
I have a theory, but I still need more proof evidence before I can make any actual claims. Let's keep going.
Alright, and so once more, you descend into the sewers.
As we're going into the sewers, I just I really want to just bring attention to how fucking amazing these background fucking ambience people are.
Yeah.
So I'm listening. I really am. I'm paying attention, but every now and again I just hear
Best in the land.
Yeah. And a man dies in front of you. Best in the land.
In the land.
All right. What are you going to do to light up the way for those of you who cannot see in the dark?
Would you guys recommend that I tap my cast light?
I personally see no reason why not.
Might be better to use the Lantern of Revealing. If we have oil for it, that is.
Yeah, do we have oil for it though? That's
Do
what
we?
I think Trevon's got that. Hey, Trevi. Where you at, boy? Oh wait, I think you left.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, do I have lamp oil, Alex?
I don't know. You might have used the lamp oil that you had.
I think I've used this thing way too many times without ever refilling it, so that would make sense.
Here, just use my sweat. It is nice and glistening.
You know what?
It is
I respect that
fully
you. I respect that you believe that your sweat is a precious commodity, Thav. In many respects, it is. It's not going to fuel this lamp.
My blood is gasoline.
That's not how.
I don't think that's how that works.
No,
That's
it's
not
not,
how
how
it
it works.
Just, Momo, just tap yourself. Be bright.
All right. And he just like clasps his own shoulders and then he glows.
All right, Momo, you're now a glowing bird, and you and your companions without dark vision can now see.
Delicious.
Yeah. And once more... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, out of just mechanical curiosity, because it's been so long, the Lantern of Revealing, that just needs normal oil, right?
Normal oil.
Ah, cool.
The lantern itself is magical, the oil is not.
Yeah. Awesome.
I want to see if I can, follow down the trail a little further, just without being noticed, and see if there's anyone there.
Cool. So you want to not be noticed? First make a stealth check, and then make a survival check to follow the trail.
Alright.
Cool?
And survival.
Alright. You go ahead, getting out of Momo's light radius, which is fine for you, because you can see in the dark. Yay! And you follow the trail along, your companions following a little closer behind, not close enough that you'd be revealed. And eventually you get to a place where the trail intersects with a lot of other trails into a pool of blood that drips down around 5 feet or so into what was probably water at one point, but is now just filled enough with filth and debris that you really don't want to consider what it could be classified as now.
I'm sorry, is this like a pit, or is this just like a section in front of us, or...?
Yes to both. Because the sewers are cramped as hell, the best way to get around them for people who actually have to walk and work down here is through, metal catwalks and scaffolding that go above the wastewater. And in this particular section of the sewers, it's not as cramped anymore, but it does drop off deeper than a lot of the sewers you've been through before. So yes, it is a pit, and it is another section of the sewers.
So here's a question then. Aside from, the obvious sign that someone has been here, is there like a rope or, you said there was a ladder, right?
Ladders are the ones that lead up onto the surface. This does not have any ladders by it.
Could I roll perception, perhaps, to see if I can spot anything down there?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna assist you with that, so take advantage.
Thank you, you sweet honey.
You look down and you hear Trevlon before you see this slow, plodding
Yeah,
of
that's
something moving.
That's not an Okiti down there.
Yeah. And you
I don't think
also
it even
see
sounds humanoid.
a lot of debris just kind of being pushed out of the way as something ripples below the filthy, filthy sewer water. There's definitely something down there.
Forget Oki. That doesn't even sound humanoid.
Does any is there like a rock? Actually, scratch that. Trev casts prestidigitation and creates just a little ball in his hands, like a little wood ball. Looks to Momo and says, "Hey, Momo, I have a favor to ask. Could you cast light on this ball? And when you do that, I'm going to toss it down, so we get a good look at whatever the hell's down there."
Good thinking.
Corellian takes a step back. Multiple steps back.
Yeah, that's probably a good call. Everybody
Yeah,
might want to
takes-
stand back to this. This
Yeah,
was
I'm
probably
going to
going to
take
suck.
enough steps back to be hiding behind Caroline at this point.
Glad to see that my party is full of stalwart, just brave companions. Anyway, Momo.
Momo taps the ball, casts light on it, and then just cowers backward.
Alright. The
Alright.
light disappears from
Now
Momo and
stay-
goes onto the ball.
Mal stands his ground but readies himself.
Yeah, get your bow ready, mate.
Momo stands behind Mal.
Get your bow ready, mate. This might anger whatever's down there. Okay. Right. What would I have to roll if I wanted to toss this ball in this thing's direction?
Athletics.
To try and... Okay.
Roll toss.
Roll big toss. Athletics. Ugh.
Alright, you toss with all your halfling might, which basically just goes over the catwalk and kind of rolls over, bloop, falls in the water. And then you hear as a lot of the filth gets tossed over with big splashes, and you can see this big toothy maw rise up from below, chomp on the ball as it disappears, and then drop below the surface.
Did we at least manage to get any glimpse of it?
Make a perception check.
As this
All of
happens,
us?
Only those of you who can see in the dark. So that's Corellian and Malifang.
I'd say Mal should do this one.
Jesus.
I'm,
As that happens,
yeah.
Oh, come on!
I was looking too.
I call hacks.
You know what?
It's a good thing
It was
Corellian
a good
was
thing
looking
Corellian
too.
was looking too. Malifane, as you heard the noise, you were like, ah! And instinctively averted your eyes.
Alright, I'll roll one as well.
Do it.
Go.
Yay.
Alright. So right before the ball disappeared, you could see the shape of the thing as it leapt from the water. It appeared to be this, like, bulbous, yellowish mass, that stunk of offal and carrion, with, tentacles that ended in, like, leafy appendages with spikes on them, and a big old maw full of teeth. And it just went, oh, and consumed the ball of light.
Oh,
Corellian whispers a brief description. Does that sound familiar to anyone? As they sort of take another step back carefully.
let me think.
It certainly isn't a Zorn.
Make a
narrowing
nature
it down.
check, actually. Whoever wants
What?
to... Whoever's trying to think if they've heard of this creature, make a nature check.
Yeah. You got a 12, 12, and an 8. Oof.
Cool.
Can I try?
Yeah, absolutely, Trevlon.
Here we go. Guess. Yeah. Corellian?
Yeehaw!
Nobody knows!
Okay, none of those passed, but I'm feeling nice. Trevlon, you live in Port Mirandu. Make another nature check. I'll let you have advantage.
Oh,
thank fuck.
yay! Here's the 13.
God damn it! Alright, and as you rack your brains trying to think of what that is, Trevlon, you hear this voice in your head go, more food.
Ooh, Trevlon is now stepping back.
Okay, I want to point out that as you made that noise, Walrus, Scott on his end of the webcam opened his mouth, and I could have sworn that came from him, and I was very confused. I never heard that kind of noise come from Scott.
All right. So, Trevlon, taps a few fingers on his chin, takes another few steps forward, points to the pile, casts message, and says, hi?
Let me...
You're a fool!
Let me once again check what message is.
I swear, if this is... I hope this is what I think it is.
I have a feeling I know what this is, but I really just want to be wrong.
You point the message, and again something echoes in your ear. More food!
Does anybody, anybody have any meals or food that they want to just toss into that thing? Because it's asking for it. And I don't mean that in it's asking for it, sort of way. It just came into my brain and said, more food, please. So, any takers?
I have some stale bread.
Crack it, toss it in. This thing ate wood.
So I don't... chemical fire.
Let's just
not.
Let's just see what this thing is
Dinks
first.
the stale bread into the hole.
You stumble over to where you think it is and toss the stale bread. Because remember, there's no light down here anymore.
Oh
Wait a minute, how can I not see it?
You have dark vision.
Yeah, how can I not see it?
I didn't hear what you were checking in.
Shit.
I just heard Momo trying to tuck in, and I was saying, Momo, you can't see.
Right, but never mind.
Okay. All right. You, Momo, you toss the bread vaguely in that direction. Dunk, dunk. And then you hear another roar, gurgle, and chomp. And then a voice goes in your head, Momo. More food.
Oh dear! Oh no!
It is what
no.
I think it is.
I'm
think it
afraid.
is.
You may know what it is, but Malifane don't.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is. I'm so confused.
Could I roll Arcana, maybe? To see, this may not be nature, but it's definitely magical.
Sure, yeah, I think it counts as magical based on the creature description type.
Thank you, sweet man.
Hey.
Alright, Trevlon, it's slowly coming back to you. One of the reasons that Port Mirandu manages to keep the streets so clean, and the sewers, roughly speaking, is because they quote-unquote employ a creature known as an Odiug, which I'm going
That's
to...
not what I thought it was.
Odiugs are basically creatures that bury themselves in mounds of offal and carrion, and then whenever anything remotely resembling food falls in, they just eat.
Oh, no, we have seen one of these before.
Have we?
Once upon... way back, but yes. Yes, we have.
Okay, so, that thing speaking in my brain kind of rang a light bulb in my head. It's, well, for some reason, we in Port Mirandu thought it'd be a great idea to employ Odiugs to keep the sewers clean. Sometimes the streets. They are big, they are somewhat demonic, and they eat everything, basically.
Well, why would you do that?
Well, don't look at me. I'm not the one who bloody leads this town.
I mean,
Ask Lion Belly.
It's effective, I guess.
Maybe a bit too effective.
As long as it's well neutral, I suppose it's not gonna hurt us.
Alex, are these things neutral?
A 17 Arcana? I'm going to say yes. These things are neutral.
Trev points at this thing with message. Now that he knows what it is and whereabouts it might be direction-wise, and says, some time ago, some folks were down in the sewers. You didn't happen to eat them whole, did you?
Neither did you.
Oh, Well, they are. We know who ate them. Basically, it was the Otyugh.
Otyughs don't inflict disease, though, do they?
No, do they?
Make a survival check.
Survival check. Here we go. Fuck.
You don't know.
Anybody else want to give this thing a thunk?
I can try.
Oh yes, you can.
For whatever reason, once you hear the word Otyugh, Thavagan, your mind just springs to life with all sorts of information about Otyughs. Yes.
They're his spirit animal.
Yes, technically they do spread disease by biting, since they live in an absolutely filthy environment that is not good for anyone that's not, used to living in filth. That being said, the disease that Otyugh usually spread by biting does not manifest itself in boils that restrict the ability to breathe.
Yeah, so, the diseases these things carry and, like, infections and shit like that from sewer shit, I don't think they do boils and crap.
Huh.
So we still have another culprit then.
At the very least, we have something else. Trevlon points at the Otyugh, wherever it might be, and asks, do you know anything else that lives down here that eats? Something made someone full of boils. Something down here.
Okay.
Have you heard of anything like this before? Have you seen something like this? This thing is not the brightest tool in the shed.
Ask it if things got away from it earlier.
That's a good question.
And then as you say this, Corellian, you hear a voice projected into your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
How many things?
Wait a minute. Can it read our thoughts?
I just spoke out loud, so...
Yeah, it could just hear us.
I think it can present, like, telepathy or something like that. If I had to guess.
With the 17 Arcana, Chevlon, technically speaking, Otyughs only have one language, and that is Otyugh. But they do have a limited form of telepathy, which they can magically transmit simple messages and images to creatures close enough to it. However, that form of telepathy does not allow the creature to respond.
I see. So it can understand us, but it's not like we can understand with a telepathic message. Okay.
It's basically, you speak Italian and it speaks Spanish. It might know some things, but not enough.
Okay, right. Hold that thought. Trevlon points a message at the Otyugh. Now with the remembrance that he can present images, what did the thing that got away look like?
And it racks its memory, and then eventually you see a flashing image of the guard covered in boils running away.
Oh, right, okay.
So we already had
That's
boils.
fair. That's fair.
The
He's
guy.
trying his best.
So the guy already had boils when he came down here, or at the very least when he was running away.
You guys mentioned something about a gas, right?
His guard did.
Trevlon points down there. Was it down where you are, where you tried to eat them?
I didn't try. I ate them.
Was it down there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a thought, everyone. They mentioned a gas. The only way we're going to be able to figure out if there was any evidence is by going down where the gas was, which is,
Where the Otiug is.
Trevlon, do you have no sense of self-preservation whatsoever?
To be honest, when it comes to trying to find what the hell's happening, that kind of gets in the way of my whole take care of self brain.
Can't do that if you're dead.
Fair enough. But at the same time, Trevlin points to the Otiug, and I'm going to roll persuasion on this one.
Okay.
If you let us come down there and don't eat us, I'll come back with a tasty steak. And I'd like to roll persuasion.
You just hear after a second.
What gas?
Oh. There wasn't... Trevor puts a message. There wasn't a gas that filled the whole place up?
No.
Either...
Must have happened first, and then while everyone was scattering, they ran right into our friend here.
Okay.
Ask it where they came from. Like which
Which
direction they ran from.
Yeah. Message. Which direction did they come from?
Up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right, fair enough. Relative to you, I mean. Down here. Which pipe?
Up.
Oh.
We're on a catwalk above the... So they would have fallen from the catwalk down into its jaws. So it probably wouldn't have known which way up here they came from. If I'm interpreting that correctly, of course.
You hear a
Okay.
message projected into your head currently, and that just confirms.
Up.
Well...
Thank you.
Alright, so
Well-
what I'm gathering is those boys had an altercation before. Those boys had an altercation, received the boils, ran away, and some fell into this boy's big meaty maw, and then that one guy managed to not get out, managed to not get eaten, get out the sewer, and then collapse just on the surface. So
Okay.
the main part of this boy seems like a bit of a red herring.
Okay, well, that could have been bad. We could have gone down there and that would have been not so good.
Yeah, you think?
Trevlon, realizing that this creature just helped us quite nicely, again creates a wooden ball, and then casts prestidigitation again to make the ball taste like steak, and then tosses it down the sewer.
And there's more splashing from down below that you can't really see because you don't have a light source.
Well, okay, that was right.
Out
So-
of character, I actually think this thing is quite cute.
Yeah, well, when it's not eating us, yeah, it's like a Jaws that can speak and is kind of silly.
How big are these things again?
Yeah.
In relation.
Oh, these things are huge. I don't have an exact footage for it, but they're large tokens, and the default is medium tokens for adventurers, so...
Thug.
I mean, that would explain how they're able to get... Yeah.
Okay, Momo, cast light on yourself again. We're getting on the catwalk and we're looking around.
Oh, fine. He taps himself and he glows.
All right.
It'll be okay. As long as we
Momo.
don't fall in.
Momo, you're glowing again and hoping no one notices among the many other stains, the stains that are right below you now.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Momo shit himself.
I did it!
This is DM abuse, and I will not stand for it.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Cry? Maybe piss your pants? Maybe shit down.
Mama did not soil himself. He's fine.
He's fine. He's fine. I just wanted to make a DM joke.
Or a PM joke, if you get mine. It's P. Anyway.
You're gross.
No,
Yes.
stop.
All right. So, okay. Since it's not down there, now that it's a little bit brighter, can we see any like mucky footsteps on the catwalk leading, or at least a good few of them that may direct us to a pipe that we may go through?
Make an investigation check.
Yeah, baby.
Assist with this.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. There's the one blood trail that you followed to get here, and then where a bunch of them converge, they all seem to be coming from one direction at the opposite end of a catwalk. But if there are like footmarks on it, they just kind of stop early on as they get onto the catwalk.
Yeah, that's where they fell. Okay. Right. That direction. Then Trev points to the common, like the foots, and I suppose we follow that direction, shall we?
Nowhere else to go.
Yay!
All right. You follow down that way. I'm going to need another investigation check as you're going.
Still helping me, Mal?
You know it.
All right. Nice. You continue onwards through a couple of twists and turns. You don't get all that far, but you do catch something out of the corner of your eye that if you hadn't noticed it, you might have been walking for a long while. There are some broken shards of painted black pottery kind of stashed away in where the sewer turns a corner.
Painted black pottery. This is... I'm trying to...
Alex, can I roll history to see if these pots look familiar at all?
Sure.
Yeah.
They look like shards of a pot. You're pretty sure there's nothing special about the pot of any historical knowledge.
Anybody want to try and figure out if these things contained the gas?
I can give it a try.
All right. Momo, make a medicine check.
A medicine?
Correct.
Okay, sorry,
medicine.
look it up.
Hey.
Momo, you do some careful examination of the pot, just in case it did indeed contain whatever disease that was. After some inspection, some taking samples, you see that, yes, this appeared to have contained some stirred-up airborne gaseous agent of some kind, and when it broke, that must have been released, which released the disease.
Were these...
Oh. Okay,
I'm trying to
I
think
think
of a
this
way.
is what held the gas that infected the guy.
Were these placed here recently?
Momo, from your examination, it looks like these weren't necessarily placed so much as thrown.
Right. I was going to ask if this was an accidental breakage, but no, this is...
No.
Someone accosted them.
Black pots that carried poisonous gas.
Cost.
Is
Approach and address. Holding your address.
is this sort of thing alchemical, Alex?
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm going to say with a 19 in medicine, combined with this theory, Momo, you can confirm that this sort of thing doesn't happen accidentally. This would have had to have been a man-made toxic cloud in order to be put inside this container.
You guys are thinking what I'm thinking, right?
I'm
This
thinking.
can't be a coincidence.
Yeah, I'm thinking that our Rat King was down here. I mean, I don't really know any other alchemists who randomly attack people on the fly.
Well,
Maybe not on the fly, but I can think of one other.
You
the
think?
Rat King doesn't necessarily deal in disease, and there was that wanted post that we saw of someone in connection to the Plague Lords.
You think one of the gold? Oh shit! That's probably a much better. Okay.
If
Now
there's
this-
any connection that I could make, it's in relation to the Plague Lords and the Glue Walkers.
Yeah, that seems apt. Can I roll investigation to tell if there's any sign of where this thing might have been thrown from, or if there's any other tracks that are leading away from this tunnel?
Sure, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Chevlon, you take a very careful look around. You're able to determine basically any number of angles from where it might have been thrown based on impact radius and the spread of the debris. And you check around that area and that direction. But throughout your very, very thorough investigation, you don't find any footprints. And no, it's not because something's not there, because you're very sure something was there. It's just whatever was there just didn't leave footprints.
Could it have taken different form or something?
More likely, this thing was very good at covering its tracks. I mean, then again, anything's possible.
I have a thought. I don't know if I'm right. Is there any scaffolding above us, or is there anything in general above us?
Thank you.
You look up, like maybe a foot over your head is the ceiling of this sewer pipe. Thavagat, you've been very uncomfortable this whole time having to basically duck walk through these sewers.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing following us or anything like that.
You look behind you, doesn't appear that you were followed into the sewers.
Ooh, I've got an idea.
Go on.
Why don't we ask our resident alchemist? Oh, sorry, wait, is it alchemist? Our resident alchemist what she may think of this particular brand of gaseous substance in a jar.
You referring to Annabelle?
Good old message, yeah.
That's with sending or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Do you
it
have any
have to be? Does sending have a rate, like a distance limit?
I believe,
Okay,
like,
so-
as long as they're on the same plane of existence, you can send it to them.
You just have to know them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do I? Momo looks at Trevor and Fav and the whole shebang. What do I tell her?
Do you know anything about a gas, an artificial gas that causes debilitating boils across the body
And in the throat.
and in the throat? Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I prepare the spell and I send it.
Alright. You send the message. A few seconds later, you hear back, Ooh, I know this one! Okiri are known for making artificial diseases and plagues whenever they get mad. That sounds like Bilge Bules. Tends to make nasty pustules. Usually isn't fatal.
Oh, no.
Momo just recoils. Damn it! Damn it!
What?
Damn it! She said it was a Okiti-made gas. Or a plague. And it's called Bilge Bules. Is that right?
Bilge.
Bilge Bules.
Bilge Bules, sorry.
Like it as in Bilge Rat.
Yeah.
Oh, those mother...
Which means it is possible there's a connection to... Do you think it is possible we are dealing with the Rat King?
No. If it's Okiti made, it means that an Okiti might have done this. And to be honest, mate, there's only one set of Okiti I know that have a grudge against the lad's folk. And it's the ones we decided to try and make a deal with. And it's the ones that have decided to...
Wait. Back up. Why, if it is... We ask them to help in whatever way possible, and with whatever methods, under this time limit. It would only make sense that they would be trying to throw anyone else off the scent.
That is true.
Wait. Does that mean that...
Actually, that does bring up a very good point. That we're currently in a very sensitive political situation between the Okiti and everybody else. Why would they then use a very, very obviously Okiti thingy at this time? I have a feeling that your hunch may have been correct, but now we may have a motive worth talking, worth asking about.
Momo, didn't you say that Annabelle said that this Bilge Bules thing doesn't tend to be lethal?
Doesn't tend to be fatal.
Right.
Maybe this was a stronger variant.
Which means someone messed around with it.
The pottery shards, you mentioned that they were painted black. Would it be possible to scrape off that black paint and see if there's anything underneath that could be identifying? Asking the DM.
It would be possible. Given that it was carrying diseases, probably only you would be able to safely do it since you're immune to it.
I'm just gonna do that and see if I can't scrape off some of the black paint and see if there's anything useful underneath.
Alright. You're just gonna do that in the sewers, or are you gonna take the shards with you?
Well, I'll take them with, unless we have other business down here. I don't really... If the trail stops cold here, I don't see the, I guess, use in mucking about.
Good point. I just had a thought. We just saved someone that just nearly got murdered. We should probably make sure that they're not dead. Again.
Yeah, it would be a waste of money if so.
A waste of life is more accurate.
If...
Crowing shots.
Okay, right. Shall we... Let's get out of this sewer and let's go make sure that the person that was supposed to die isn't actually... Let's go make sure that he's okay.
Alright. You head out of the sewer, Corellian taking the shards and giving them a little bit of cleaning as he does, as I take us to a different music track.
Ooh.
Alright.
Ooh.
You find
Best in the land.
You find the nearest ladder and climb up. You're somewhere in the docks district now, after your travels through the sewers. And I feel the need to mention, you really, really stink. Like, not just regular sewer stink, you pass through a freaking Odiog layer, you stink.
Let's do prestidigitation and get really clean.
Alright.
Thank you.
You do the super fun magic cleaning spell. Yeah! You now don't smell like ass.
Perfect.
Liquid
I
ass.
appreciate
The
that.
best.
Alright.
The best.
The best of you. Alright. And you head over towards the temple district, which isn't that far from the docks. this particular guy is being cared for in the Temple of Bahamut. He looks pretty bad, doing some slow and steady breathing exercises lying down on a cot, but he looks alive.
Is he currently sleeping?
His eyes are closed, and he's doing some regulated breathing, but yeah, he's not asleep.
Oi, mate. You there?
Oh, yeah.
I have a few more questions for you.
Okay.
So, first of all, the thing that got your friends wasn't the same thing that got you with the Boyles.
Okay.
Was there anybody following you before the ambush happened?
Before that fell off the table, he rolled a 19, so... Alright. I couldn't see. Torches went out first, and they were up in front. But I did hear this... I don't know what the hell it is. Some kind of whir and click. And then this crash and everything went to the hells.
Whir, click.
So it was mechanical.
Alex, does Trevor know of the existence of any tripwires that may exist that might be mechanical in that way?
Make an intelligence check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. It is definitely possible that a tripwire could have sent some kind of mechanical device spinning and then activating. But that being
Looks like
said, you investigated that area pretty damn thoroughly, and you didn't find any such device.
It sounded initially like it was a trap of some sort, but that's not... We looked everywhere, and there wasn't such a thing.
Do you think someone would have been bothered to have reset the trap?
No, it's not that... Even if you don't reset the trap, there'll be marks, there'll be something left.
Not if you completely pack it up after you're done.
If so, that was some bloody fast packing. That guy... Sorry, I should not act like you're not here, you're here. He came in, died, we saved him, we went down, we had a little chat to the Odiug, but that... Why would there be any evidence at all in that case? There was the black pots that were there as well. If they really wanted us to throw it off the scent, then, well... Then
Very
again,
true. Speaking of, Krellin will take out the shards and being very careful to step away from everyone else, uses some of their tinker's tools to sort of scrape away at the black paint to see if there's anything interesting.
Alright. You do some scraping, and I'm going to say you've been doing a little bit of scraping on your way here, just to have something to do besides walk.
Yeah.
They're shards, so you get a better idea of what's on the pot if you put them together. Make an intelligence check with the tinker's tools.
Great.
You can do it. I believe in you.
You got this?
Alright. You put the pot back together in what you imagine was the shape it used to be in before it broke. Doesn't appear to be anything particularly fancy, just a typical crafted pot for holding flowers, usually, or something. It's got elven designs on the side, though.
Elven designs?
Is there any writing on this that you can read, Mal?
I can give it a look.
You give it a look, Malphane? There's no writing. This is just the usual style of painting and brushwork used by elves when they're decorating stuff.
are there any elven... Are there any elven weaponsmiths that deal in mechanical things? Something that could launch this pot, for example.
You know one, but you're not sure if Omarin deals in poison because he has a big old flamethrower attached to his back.
Is there anything like a maker's mark or a signature stamped in the ceramic or anything of that sort?
You give it a look. Does not appear to be any such mark. Perhaps it was just omitted or painted over.
Something seems off. There were the elven-made bombs that were placed in... There were the elven-made explosives in the mines. And now there are the elven pots that contain the poison here.
Not to mention that it's an elven pot with apparently with poison. Trevlon, by the way, stopped himself before he said Okiti to make sure that, our friend here didn't hold a grudge and tell everyone. This
tells me this was staged.
This stinks of a staging. I get another one, in fact. Someone's trying to cause tension. This is so weird. And very interesting, but very dangerous and weird and...
I think it could be a distraction for the bidding.
If that were the case, we wouldn't have found something like that back in the mines. This isn't just about the bids. This is on a. I hesitate to call it global. This is on a whole nother scale.
Someone tried to mess with the heart of the mountain, right? Would make sense if someone's trying to mess with the political situation in Port Morandu too. This stinks to me as someone who's trying to create discord to take advantage of it in the meantime. And unfortunately, that's all I know or can think about. We don't have any leads of who they could be yet, which is a shame. Alex, does Trevlon know of any, apart from, of course, the ones we've fought side by side with previously, does Trevlon know of any elvish groups that deal specifically in destabilizing places, or just causing chaos?
Make a history check.
I'm gonna offer advantage on that.
Okay.
Alright. Cool. There is one as I look up the name, because I did give, in fact, the name.
Oh.
Da-da-da-da-da. Yay! Here I go, scrolling through some chats. This is intense action, I know.
Woof.
Hell yeah.
I am playing several investigation themes in my head. Oddly enough, that was not one of them, but now it is. Thanks, Alex.
You're welcome.
I have Phoenix Wright, I have Ghost Trick, I have Danganronpa, and now Pink Panther, so thanks.
Nice. So, I'm just going to say it is the Scarlet Snakes that I was looking up. It could be something similar, but let's say it's Scarlet Snakes. The Scarlet Snakes were a group of, rangers, usually, human elf, half-elf, that worshipped Dendar the Night Serpent, and were all in all not nice dudes. But they have been mostly wiped out.
Oh, baby, it's all coming together. So, fun fact, fellas, I was just thinking about, we were just thinking, hey, what sort of groups would want to destabilize? And then we had another thought.
You're thinking of potential mercenary groups, aren't you?
No. Worse. Once upon a time, there was a group of folk called the Red Snakes, and they... Scarlet Snakes. Fuck. Scarlet Snakes. They worshipped a certain demigod thing that we've become acquainted with. Y'all remember Dendar the Night Serpent?
Mm-hmm.
They worshipped them. And they supposed to be gone for a long time now. Well, I suppose a lot of things have to be supposed to have been gone for a long time now, but it looks like things are getting back into motion that are both very evil and very intricately planned.
So it's possible that they've decided to make their grand reappearance to the public. Well,
This is the thing.
Reappearance is not the right word.
Exactly. They're not trying to reinstate themselves or show that they are here. They've been making secret attacks, secret manipulative moments that have destabilized and really wrecked shop. We have Omaran, who I remember having a nasty, nasty encounter with something along Dendar's sort of scope. We have the Heart of the Mountain that appears to have just been kind of royally screwed up by a random entity that we weren't able to discover. We have this. Someone trying to start something pretty unpleasant.
Logic makes sense, but it's still just a theory. We don't have any solid proof of it.
No, we don't. I think in the meantime, whilst we're dealing with this situation we have right now, we have to really keep a close eye out for anything like this. Because something really bad is going to happen soon. I have a very bad feeling about it, and I want to make sure that we're ready when it happens.
So, until then, I think we were in the middle of talking with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi. I've been
Hi.
getting back to my exercises, so don't mind me.
Long story short, someone tried to kill you to start something terrible. You remember nothing but the click, the whir, and where exactly did the pot... Did it hit you?
No?
Whereabouts do you remember it shattering?
Like I said before, it was dark and I couldn't see. I don't know why you keep asking me for sight-related details.
Okay, where do you
It's
hear
the
it
journalist in him.
fucking
Forgive
yes.
him, please.
Please forgive me. Where did you hear it shattering?
Like, somewhere in front of me?
Interesting. Okay, is there anybody around, that's, like, looks like an authority figure of some kind?
There have been some acolytes of Bahamut who have just been kind of like looking at you, looking at each other. They look like they're waiting for you to leave and wondering why you're talking to yourselves about this grand conspiracy in the middle of their temple.
Okay. Trevlon makes his presence known to one of them. Is there a possibility you can keep someone keeping an eye on this guy whilst he recovers? I have a horrible feeling that someone was after him.
That was the idea, to look after him while he recovered, child.
What I mean to say is, would you be able to defend him?
This is a house of peace. We are not exactly armed warrior clerics.
I respect that. Just keep an eye out, okay? There's something pretty nasty around. Okay.
Before we go, Corellian would like to just wish the guard. I hope you feel better, man.
Yeah, so do I.
What's your name?
Going into the names document.
I had to do it to you.
You
Sorry.
had to do it.
You had to do it to him.
Just I have to.
No shit. There's no you in there. Fuck. His name is Leroy. God damn it, Leroy.
No, his name is Leroy.
I will
Leroy.
choke you. I will fucking choke you to death. This name is
Leroy.
Leroy.
Leroy it is.
Alright, Leroy. I hope you're feeling better and you'll be well taken care of. Is there like a collection bowl or something?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
On the way
It's
out of the temple.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, I'll drop in 5 gold.
Very nice. The acolytes thank you for your generous donation.
I think Trev does the same. It's because this guy could have died and did not die, and he's quite thankful about that.
Momo drops 2 gold pieces.
Mel drops 2 gold pieces.
Thavagath is AFK.
Thavagath drop kicks.
Assume he gives all of his money.
Just all of it.
Corellian
He
gives
dumps it.
Corellian gives 2 gold. Mal gives 2 gold. Trav gives 0 shits.
It's almost like this happened before when
piece off his torch buttocks into the donation bin.
Okay. You heard that. Single gold taut buttocks piece.
There we go. One
There we
entire
go.
ass.
Nice. Okay. So, that was an interesting experience, and a slightly spooky one. The next time we see old Ren, do we want to let him know about this?
It would probably be for the best. The more information we can provide to any of our benefactors, the better.
Well, that's the thing. I'm still debating whether or not old Ren really is doing things for the good of everybody. But
Why do you say
if we're going to find more information ourselves, I think it's probably best, to have contact with somebody who's pretty knowledgeable about most things. Okay. Right. Before that happened, we were going to go and check out a grocery shop, weren't we?
I think so.
Yeah. Sure were.
Let's go and pay some halflings a visit then, eh?
All right. You head back to the market square and enter the Bounty. It's a fairly big store. There's like several racks running along the walls and through the middle of the store, full of different types of food. There are a bunch of people in commoner clothing and some traveler's clothes perusing the various wares, and there are 3 halflings in there chatting up the clientele, one manning the register. But there are also two burlier people, dwarves, that are standing by the register, glowering down at everyone. You believe they are working security.
They're not
Interesting.
tatted up, are they?
They do not have the very distinctive Wild Axe clan tattoos.
Just had to check.
Yeah, I'd be on edge too.
And
Okay.
here is what the Bounty has to offer.
Wow, a whole ass cow.
One whole ass cow. There's a little subnote down below saying, we can either get you the full ass cow and kill it so you can cut it up yourself, or we can cut up the cow.
I want an ox. A friend for
Oh
goats.
shit, I didn't even see that. A whole ass ox too.
A whole ass ox.
Whole ass sheep. Damn, they have everything but the kitchen sink. In fact, I think I see that in fine print on the bottom.
Everything but kitchen sinks.
Mm-hmm. What are sink?
Alex, is there anything like a... This would only deal in food, wouldn't it?
Yeah, this is a food store. It specializes in food.
Roger. Okay. Same deal as before. Quick investigation around the place. Don't get too sneaky. Don't get caught doing anything suspicious. Just keep an eye out for anything, trapdoory or anything like that.
Quick question.
Yes?
It says chicken 2 copper. Is that chicken alive?
Oh my god.
It's not going to be when you buy it. They make a point of execute the chicken unless you pay them extra.
No.
How much extra would I have to pay? to get the chicken alive.
Oh, you poor thing.
2 gold.
I will pay them 2 gold, and I will have a chicken.
Have a chicken.
You put 2 copper down and order a chicken. The halfling at the register pulls out a cleaver, and then you specify, no, put 2 gold down. I want live chicken. And he just kind of stares at you, mouth agape. Stares down at the gold. Fuck it! Bring up a chicken!
Okay, Phil, I'm gonna say this right. Oh, sorry, finish up. Sorry.
And one of the dwarves heads into the back. A minute or so later, you hear as he holds a chicken under one arm, steps out, and just throws the chicken directly at you, Thavagath.
Okay. Catches the chicken like a rugby ball and just instantly looks at it, cradles it, and has the biggest fucking grin on his face.
Phil, I'm just gonna say this now. I will be extremely disappointed in you if you do not multi-class as a druid. Just saying.
Does he have the wisdom to do that, though?
I don't know.
Doesn't have the wisdom to do that. Oh, actually, no, he's got 11 in wisdom.
You need 13.
One more. Just a little bit more.
So, Thav, what are you going to name it? Are you just going to call it chicken, like you do with goat?
What else would I call it?
I don't know, Egbert or something.
Lucky.
That's stupid.
Phil, IRL, my mother owned a chicken named Egbert. Fuck you.
No, my best friend growing up had like 3 pet chickens and called them like all chicken puns. They were fantastic.
It just provides so much good times.
It does, but I'm calling this one chicken.
Whilst Thav is owning a chicken, can I roll investigation? Check what's up.
Yes.
Fuck.
All right. Given that you witnessed this, I'm going to say that you'd have to actually lift up food racks to see if there are any trapdoors, which is a no-go when they're actually operating. But given that there's probably not enough room in the back to hold whole-ass oxes, that is probably where there'd be a secret entrance if there was one.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I would. Is there any way to access that without being seen?
No.
Right. What exactly are the guards blocking, if I may ask?
Well, they're kind of standing by the register in general, ready to pounce at a moment's notice.
Okay. Trev. Oh, yep, you go first, Kirel.
As someone who has worked in storefronts and was a guild member, would a grocery make enough money to warrant having 2 guards in it at all times?
And a place where they can hold entire oxes.
Well, that makes sense, but the guards bit.
As someone who is higher up, even with the Tinkers Guild, higher up than the usual 9-to-5 workers and peasants and all that, generally speaking, Port Mirandu is enough of a rough place, and most places in Irion are rough enough, that having at least a couple of guards in case of something is fairly common. Having whole-ass oxes in the back is not.
Before Trevlon forgets, do these guards look any way familiar? Do they look like they are wearing the same outfit that Nulad's guards, or at least Nulad's guard, was wearing?
They do not appear to be wearing the same thing as Nulad's guard.
Okay. Well, I guess they wouldn't be that clear about it.
Mal is don't mind this, but Mal is looking at the racks of food and just giving a very strong thought.
Alex, is there anybody who's working at this shop right now who looks particularly sort of harassed? Like they're thinking about a lot of things.
Well, There are 2 halflings, like I said, who are working the floor, chatting up customers. The front register guy does not look all that busy.
I mean to say, do they look like anxious or worried or anything like that?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Geek.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys think there's anything more to see in here, or
Hey, Thav. You should inquire about that ox. I think maybe having an ox would be a welcome addition to Baton Rants. Curlian says, and then just sort of leans in. See where they keep them, maybe.
Thavagath stopped paying attention to you the moment you said an axe would be a worthy addition, because he just has his beaming face saying, I agree, yes. He knows what you're doing. He doesn't. I know he doesn't know what you're doing. He just wants that ox now. Just excuse me. Ox? How much is ox?
Like the menu says, big guy, it's 15 gold.
May I see ox?
Alright. Look but don't touch. And then,
oh no, of course.
he yells something in halfling at the door.
What?
And in halfling, because one of you speaks halfling, he's basically yelling, "Get the fucking ox!"
Two of us speak halfling, actually.
Why do they all cuss so much?
Because they're so small.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
I
swear
guess you could say
that much.
they have a short temper.
All right, I wasn't gonna swear as much as these guys. You pull that shit again, I will scream.
That was fucking funny.
So proud of myself.
Okay. So, now that you're done laughing at yourself, the 2 dwarves nod, go into the back, and then a few minutes later you hear as they escort a whole-ass ox out through the door and beyond the register so that you can have a look at it.
As they're taking the ox out, is it possible that Trevelyan might be able to sneak a peek inside?
Make a stealth check.
Yeet.
Nice.
You sneak a peek into the back area behind the register. It's empty-ish. There are like a couple of jars and boxes and stuff, storage units. Nothing that would hold a cow. Nothing that would hold an ox. Probably, definitely, there's a secret passage in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Trevelyan stops peeking.
So I'm gonna direct this one at least specifically at Corellian. I'm gonna go ahead and definitely notice that Thavagath is currently reaching for his coin purse. You're gonna interject and stop him from buying the.
You know, it's his money, and it's a good distraction, so no. Carry on.
Buy ox.
Alright. Because the monkey brain in me is telling me, no, we've still got a lot of this adventure left, but the Thavagath brain in me is saying, we need that ox.
Thavagath is a simple man who loves animals. Who am I to take that pleasure away from him, you know?
We were able to keep the goat somewhere in the fiery grog. What's going to stop us from keeping a goat somewhere? No, an ox.
An ox and a chicken. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
A goat with the heart of an ox.
We're getting an ox companion now.
All right.
That's 15 gold, right?
15 gold. You hand over 15 gold for the ox. The halfling looks it over, nods at the dwarves. One of them pulls out a hand axe and chops the ox's head off.
Oh, what the fuck, Alex?
Yeah, all right. You want to chop the meat up yourself, or we can do it in-house?
I think he wanted the live ox, sir.
Oof! Wow! Gee, if only he said something to that effect.
Alex, do you take pleasure in destroying the feelings and emotions of your friends?
Yes.
Cool.
Well, at least he's honest.
At least he's honest. Starts crying. Hold on, let me just
roll for tears.
Hold on. There we go. There we go.
You glare angrily at the halfling while you're crying, and it just looks like...
Pretty much. Pretty much.
The halfling just kind of stares, leans over while maintaining eye contact, and whispers in the general direction of any of you four, "Is he okay?"
He
I think
really
you should-
likes animals.
I think you might want to get him a live one.
The halfling clears his throat. Of course, that particular ox obviously was sick or something. If you needed a live ox, we could easily get you that one.
All right.
It's okay. We're getting you an ox. We're getting the live ox.
Whilst this ox is being prepared, I'd like to. Is it possible that I can roll stealth again to get an even closer look to see if I can see where the secret passage might be?
Stealth with disadvantage.
Oh fuck.
People are working here, Travlon.
Mal's actually doing some shopping now. Don't mind him though.
Fuck it. I can get borrowed for life, but it's not like I'm gonna. It's not like they're gonna think, oh, what the fuck, this guy's trying to like kill us all.
It's not like you live in this city or
It's not like you-
anything,
yeah,
and
what's
are
there to
a
say about that?
pseudo-public figure or anything.
All right, I may be a pseudo public figure, but I'm sure as hell not a particularly respected one. So
Fair.
Hey, it did.
So, there was a natural 20 against you.
yeah, I thought that was gonna be the case because God fucking hates me.
All right, you try to sneak past the headless corpse of the ox, but like sensing something amiss, one of the dwarfs turns to look at you and is like, "Oi, employees only, a shit."
He will advise, and Travlon yeets back around.
All right. So, the dwarf turns to his buddy, says something in Dwarven. Those of you who speak Dwarven is like, "Keep an eye on that one. I can get another ox myself." And the other dwarf's like, "All right, cool." And the first dwarf heads back into the back chamber.
Whilst, yeah, you go ahead.
Oh, no, it's about shopping stuff, so you go ahead.
Right. Whilst one of the halflings is going to get a live ox, is there another one around that I can talk to?
A live
there-
ox?
No,
There's,
another halfling.
there's the register halfling, and then there are the two who are working the floor.
I'm going to go talk to one of them who are on the floor, and I'm going to say something to the effect of, "Man, this place is gigantic. You have entire oxes for sale. How the hell did you manage to get the funding for this place?" And I would like to roll persuasion to get a particularly extensive answer.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that was a disadvantage.
Ooh.
But
I'll
fuck
take
it.
you with the
I'm too
27.
good.
All right, she looks at you, the halfling that you're talking to, laughs, and first says in halfling, "A couple of generous withdrawals we've made," and then says, "Oh, Bounty's been in our family for generations, one of the oldest places in Port Mirandu."
A couple of recent.
No, not
Okay.
recent, generous withdrawals.
Okay. Trevlon firstly says Firstly, Trevlon says in common, "Ah, I see," and then in halfling says, "You got the favor of new lad or something?"
She responds in halfling. Everyone needs food here in Port Mirandu. We do business with anyone who's interested in our service.
Can I roll insight to see if there was like a sort of wink or like a yes to that question?
Sure,
about new lad,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
She didn't say no, but given that she seems okay with just telling you all this stuff, For one thing, you get the feeling she trusts you because you are a halfling. For another thing, you get the feeling that whatever the bounty does, which is most likely robbery, they're not bound to any one particular master.
Okay, then. Trevlon smiles, tips his hat, and walks to the rest of the party. And has a sort of like inquisitive look on his face, like he's thinking hard.
Okay.
Hey, I'm back. What did I miss?
Well, first of all, we got told by... I asked somebody how they managed to get the, space for this place, and a worker mentioned that they recently took out some generous loans, and I also asked if they've got the favor of New Lad, and they basically said, we basically don't have any real allegiance to anybody, but it's kind of clear that they didn't necessarily get all of this stuff legally.
Oh, that's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
And around this time, you hear another as another ox is brought up from the back.
Gaff wipes away his tears and stumbles forth a smile, and he's just like...
A dwarf slowly raises a hand axe, and the other dwarf just puts a hand and slowly lowers it back down.
Fucking phenomenal.
So,
see that.
Does everybody have what they were looking for from this fine establishment?
One moment. I need to pay for some stuff. And this is a small list, but a list nonetheless. He pays for 2 pounds of cinnamon, a pound of flour, 2 loaves of bread, and 12 apples. I put down the money. I already calculated the money.
Nice.
It's 1 silver and 4 gold.
Okay, cool. You put all this down. The halfling at the register makes sure it's all legit, bags it all up for you, hands it over. Pleasure doing business with you.
In a sort of clever ass tone, Mal says in halfling, "Likewise, have a wonderful day."
All right, cool.
I had a question. The pepper for sale, is that like black pepper or like spicy pepper?
Spicy. It's just pepper. You can flavor it to be whatever the fuck you want.
Hey.
Okay, I'm good then.
So you could have, let's say, a peppered pig.
Hey, as a British person...
Do you take constructive criticism?
Malafane, you take 6 pun damage.
That's fair.
I'm also actually going to buy 12 apples and 2 pounds of wheat.
Cool. There's more and more bagging up, taking money, and giving you food. Yay.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys. After 45 episodes, you've finally been grocery shopping.
Nice.
Yay!
Probably more domestic vibe, yes.
Alright. I'm gonna take out the rope from my explorer's pack, I think.
Yeah, Explorer's Pack has rope.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tie up a little ox with there's some rope around the horns, around his head. I'm posting a picture of the thing now, like this. Yeah, so we can have a little buddy boy follow us around.
Cool. Based on the way the rope is tied, you don't need to make any check to get the ox to follow you. He just kind of does. You get the feeling that these animals are domesticated already.
As they're walking out the store, Mal offers Momo an apple.
Oh, thank you. He takes it, and
Nom.
he enjoys it.
Right.
Nom.
Okay, so, apart from getting some well-needed grocery shopping, we learned a couple things in there, I think. Firstly, that they have the space to hold prisoners, let alone oxes. Secondly, they are not it's not unimaginable to think that they would deal in business such as this, considering that they might not make the entirety of their livelihood through legal means. Secondly, they most recently took out a very generous loan, or at least a generous, withdrawal, which either implies they stole stuff from someone, or they were paid off by someone. And this, out of all the shops we've seen, I can definitely tell you this. This place looks like it will fit the bill the most for a place that New Lad would use to store someone. What do we think?
Right, so, what time tonight we breaking in?
Evening. I think it would be way too dangerous to try and do this in any time where it's particularly open. There are people about, we get seen, and generally speaking, it doesn't seem like it would be... Well, I think we get caught pretty easily if we don't do this at a time when there's not much, visibility.
You're not serious about breaking in, are you?
Honestly, mate, I don't think we're going to be able to get into that secret chamber any legal way. And I gotta admit, it's not something I'm particularly fond of, but if there's a possibility that there's a captive in there, I think it's worth a shot. Besides, we don't necessarily need to be... There's a way we can theoretically do this, and it would go pretty well, things considering. I was thinking that...
Regardless of it going well,
It's still breaking the law, which we've done several times before.
Yeah, so it's not something that we're going to be particularly, like, oh, this is such a new territory for us. We've done bad, illegal... Well, not bad. We've definitely done illegal stuff before.
Yeah, say it out loud, why don't you?
Point taken. Okay.
Tell you what, weren't the employees at the barber shop wearing basically the same uniforms as the people at the bounty? It might be worthwhile to try and see if we could get our hands on some of those. Otherwise, I would really prefer not getting caught and basically executed.
Agree.
I agree.
I mean, you guys, whatever.
Is there a possibility that any of us could get executed for breaking into a place, Alex?
Depends on where you're breaking in. If you were going to try and break into, I don't know, say, the bank or a noble's house, then yeah, it probably wouldn't look all that good for you. If you're trying to break into
good thing we haven't done that before.
If you're trying to break into, like, a shop, then you might just get jail time. It depends on where you are, though, because, different states are gonna have different penalties for crimes. Some places may absolutely hate thievery. Others are like, now don't do that shit again and just take all your stuff. You couldn't see it, audience, but I was doing a finger wag of shame.
Didn't even
You
see
naughty
it.
boy.
Do it again, I wasn't looking.
Very scathing.
Thank you.
I feel scathing.
Okay, so, whilst we're waiting for the Rat King to make an appearance, I say that we do a little bit of midnight shopping, so to speak.
Anything in mind?
Well, in the meantime, I would say that I think we should take Corellian's suggestion and possibly see if we can get a uniform or two found. Otherwise, we're going to just have to be really quiet and careful about this. And also, I might be able to... Well, I could disguise myself pretty easily. And,
Right, you're the only halfling, and they tend to employ halflings, so...
And I also have a spell to help. So, many things there.
Just a thought. The disguise kit is still on the table.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I
shall
shall
we...
disguise myself as Heflin.
I mean, anything's possible, Thav. You could just have gigantism. At that point, you'd just be like a really tall human. Or like a really, really tall halfling. Either way, it's fine.
You might say he's, 1 and a halfling.
Oh, funny.
Alex,
hold on.
I
inflict
am
pun damage upon
dead.
yourself.
Out of sheer
You
curiosity.
feel the world shake in agony as something somewhere takes 1 pun damage.
Out of sheer, unadulterated curiosity, Thavagath is going to attempt to pretend to be a halfling right now. Motherfucker, never mind.
Basically, what that entails is you drop to your knees and say, I am a halfling. I am short.
I feel like even with Thav being on his knees, he's still significantly taller than both myself and Trevor.
Yes.
So-
Conscious. Look at me, I'm conscious about my height and have hair growing out of places that I shouldn't have hair. Look at me. Blah, blah, blah.
Thavagath, you're just at the right height for me to slap you across the fucking tits.
Yeah,
I will do that.
stopping you.
What is?
I'll twist your nipples so hard.
This is a conversation we're having in game. In game.
Road.
Chicken just looks at you and goes,
Good. I'm so glad that we now have more animal companions to make noises.
It's good.
Next
Okay.
time.
Right, so let's
Hit
save
points
the
and
nipple twisting.
wisdom. Multi-class to druid.
I'm looking into ways that I can transfer skill points because I kind of want to do that.
You were going to say, I was...
Oh, I was going to say let's save the nipple twisting for later and get on with it, but
I mean, we can do nipple twisting now, or let's try it. Okay.
I mean, that's all well and good for those of you who have nipples.
what are you
Sleight
sleight of
hand
handing?
to twist to twist Trevlon's nipples without Corellia noticing.
I don't know how.
Ladies and gentlemen, I quit Dungeons and Douchebags Fallen Empires. Good day.
Why?
I'm out. I'm done.
Let's just go back. Let's just go back to the haircut shop, shall we?
Yeah, please, let's do that.
Natural fucking 20.
You go back.
no.
that was fucking left.
Rip
We
and
left
skip.
just in time.
You were saying, Alex?
I was saying, you go back into the barber shop. What are you doing there?
I suppose we're looking... Okay, first of all, Trevlon is going to step outside, and he's going to cast Disguise Self.
Okay.
And he is going to disguise himself to look like he works at this place, basically.
Disguise yourself how? Like, change your clothes, or...
Clothes, definitely. So he has the apron on, all of that, the uniform nonsense. And he is also going to drastically shorten his hair and mustache because that would probably not be, you know, hair getting in the way of a hairdresser's eyes might not be the most professional look.
Okay.
He's also taken off the hat for obvious reasons. Once he's done that, he looks to the party and goes, I'm going to pop in and head round the back and see if I can find any spare uniforms I can just take, okay? Stay frosty, and if I get spotted, you'll know. So be aware of that. I'll make it myself known.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'll be fine. And Trevlon walks in.
Okay. You didn't change your facial features, just the hair on him, so...
Fuck.
Make
Wait.
a deception check with advantage.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. That could have been bad.
That could still be bad.
The halfling looks up and is like, are you coming to brag that somewhere else does a haircut?
No, fucking... Trevlon pinches the bridge of his nose and says, look, mate, I just got hired on. I've been looking for work for ages. Just
I just cut your hair like a couple hours ago, you dipshit!
a couple hours ago. Yep, and you're not the only place that... Listen, I just came from the... Fuck, what was the other place called?
The
Bounty.
The Bounty. I just came from the Bounty. I've just jump ship, okay? And I'd like to roll persuasion, and I'll understand if it's with disadvantage here.
That would be deception with disadvantage.
Great. That could have been, you know what, could be worse, fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. So I rolled I rolled insight with advantage. The first roll, nat 1. The second roll,
That one?
Nat 1. Man, what a clever cloaks this guy is.
For whatever reason, I believe this wholeheartedly. He says, I see absolutely no reason why this dumb turn of events would seem suspicious at all.
You know what? I like your style and your thought process, mate. You know how to think. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go and get my stuff from the back. And Trevlon walks on past.
I was going to say there's not a uniform, but I rolled a double nat 1, so sure, there's a uniform right there. Oh my god.
Trevlon rubs his hands together, takes, I suppose, 4 uniforms.
There's just the one.
Oh, fuck.
You run into the obvious problem of, hey, the rest of you people aren't halflings. These won't fit your body proportions. They'd be baggy and weird or otherwise just go on Thav's head.
I suppose Corellian will be the only other person who can wear this then. And even then, that'll be a bit
Corellian, you just get the image of Corellian gesturing at the entirety of themselves, covered in scales, with a tail. Kobold!
You could just, you could be a Hieron, just for now. Maybe we're going a new direction.
Okay, I am legitimately curious. What would I have to roll to successfully try on this uniform and make it look good?
You know, there are some things where I just don't have a roll because it can't be done.
Oh,
It'd be like that.
damn it! All right, never mind.
Trevlon. I think, you know what? At this point, anything's possible. Trevlon takes the uniform, goes back out. Actually, while he's in the back, is there anything suspicious that I may have missed last time?
I was gonna say.
Nope.
Cool. Trevlon heads back into the front room, says, "Be right back, smoke break," goes out the front door.
Yeah, I see absolutely no reason to believe why you wouldn't be smoking.
I smoke. And Trevlon goes out the front door and presents a uniform and says, "Yeah, on further thoughts, the likelihood of this being, there more than one uniform was kind of low. But at the same time, hey, one is better than none."
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Correct.
I'm sorry. What did I miss?
A lot of things. A lot of good things.
I'm sure. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna ask after the session because.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing that happened.
That was a thing.
Double nat 1. Double nat 1.
It's okay.
Okay, so you head away from the market. Where are you going?
Surely we would go back to the Fiery Grog for now, just to find a place for these animals that we've just found.
You get a bunch of funny looks as you explain, no, you guys, you don't understand. We need to put this ox in the stables, and the chicken. Preferably the chicken should be riding the ox, because that would look really cute. Eventually you do
Correct.
persuade them.
Yes.
Yes.
We're like 3/4 of the way to having like the whole musicians of Bremen set up, Can't stop
God.
now.
Yep, stop won't stop.
Okay. I would think that we're gonna wait until it gets a little darker before we try and pull off this heist.
All right.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
I'll spend the time bonding with my new animal friends.
Well, I don't
want
hear
to
any
pet the
objections, so...
I want to pet the ox.
All right. You go outside
ride
and
the ox.
gently
pet the ox. The chicken keeps hopping off of the ox, and I'm assuming, Thavagas, you keep trying to put the chicken back on the ox.
I do it. He does it at least 3 times before he gives up and just lets the chicken have fun.
Okay, cool.
Momo gets on the ox instead.
Oh fuck!
The ox doesn't really seem to care.
I shall name you Ox.
I swear to God.
Mm,
Does the ox look hungry?
Yeah, I'm about to feed the ox an apple.
yeah. Yeah, the ox generously accepts the gift of apple.
And
Yay.
a few grains of wheat for the chicken.
And the chicken graciously accepts gift of anything resembling food.
Yeah, chicken's a fucking rabbit.
You're lucky you didn't pick up the fucking pig.
I was close to picking up the pig. I was this close. I was like, you know what? Nah, getting an animal that big would be very encumbering for the rest of the adventure. Never mind, we're getting an ox as well.
Alright.
So, I don't know how useful I'm going to be in any sort of heist.
Me neither.
I mean,
You can fly, Momo.
You hear a
I'm a
mysterious voice.
brightly colored feathered bird who can glow at any point in time. I think that's pretty
You could just
pretty
not blow.
noticeable.
You hear a mysterious voice from the sky implying that, hey, this map and this encounter is set up for all 5 of you. You better not split the fucking party again, I swear to God.
We keep hearing that voice a lot.
Okay, Thavagas raises his voice and says, okay, you guys got this handled. I'm going to Bat Rant's Hall to raise these animals.
Hey, okay, no. You stay here. We have to all go. In case you didn't notice, those dwarves looked more than capable than kicking a few of our asses. So, I prefer the backup. You know?
He's got a point.
So, let's go and, let's go rob someplace.
Yay!
That's not...
We're doing a
that doesn't
tactical
sound-
investigation.
yeah.
Be
That's
cool,
yeah,
be
call it
honest.
that. That sounds more professional.
This is a story and a half. Wish I had some pen and paper right now.
I am not going to write about this. I would get fired.
Yeah, at least you have your paper.
It's true. Oh yeah, you got your bloody journal stolen.
Alright, let's get this over with.
Alright. And Thavagas, with Malaphane's journal in your pockets, you follow everyone out.
Okay, I know I should speak up, but roleplay wise, he's completely forgotten he's got Malaphane's journal. He's 100% forgotten. If it gets brought up, it's just gonna
Has Thav read a book? Is he about to, like, fucking die? Just out of curiosity.
He read the book yesterday. He's got
Okay.
he's got several days.
Yeah, I just need I need to read one more book in the next 7 days or so, and then Curse is gone. I think. Am I right?
It's either 1 or 2. But
I
anyway.
know you said I need this 4 weeks, wasn't it? And I've read 3 so far. So yeah.
Alright. Anyway, you head back to the market district, which now doesn't have a lot of people yelling, fresh flowers, or best in the land, now that it's actually nighttime. And you head...
Fresh fireflies.
Yeah. And you head over to the Bounty. Looks like they've locked up for the night.
Okay. Mal, you're the one with the lockpicking kit. Where should we start?
Oh boy. Want to try going in through the door, or what?
I
I
mean,
think the door would be the most obvious choice, so it's either the best idea or the absolute worst idea.
how about we go around the back and see if there's a back entrance?
For the record, I'm completely opposed to this. The only reason I'm doing this is because it's probably our best lead.
If there's any chance that this place holds a legitimate kidnap victim, I think we can hold our ethical quandaries off for now.
Alright.
All right. You head around to the back of the bounty. Takes a couple minutes because it's a big store, but you eventually get into the alleyway where it looks like there is a back door. It's also locked.
Firstly, Trevlon once more casts Disguise Self. Similar get-up to last time, except his face has been changed. He looks a little bit like Danny DeVito now.
You mean my hero? My everything?
Yeah.
Every D&D session eventually includes Danny DeVito in it.
Thank
Jump in the
God.
sewer without a tire and we can call you the Trash Man.
I'm the
met the-
Trash Man.
You met the trash man. He ate garbage.
Yeah, he did.
Oh shit, yeah.
Oh fuck!
He throw trash all over his ring.
all over the wall.
All right.
So, yeah.
Alright, let me try at it. Thieves' tools. Of course.
Oh,
I
fuck.
wish it was spelled like that.
All right. You just stick your thieves' tools into the lock. Immediately, you hear a click, and you think, "Oh, that's a good sound." And then you pull the thieves' tools out. They are covered
This one can tell me
in
they're
needles.
Oh!
Sorry.
They are covered in needles.
I heard what you said, but I'm
They are
sorry.
covered in needles.
He heard.
Okay,
He's just sorry.
next question. Is there some sort of security system?
Looks like obviously yes.
I was about to say, there's a lock.
Final question. Does it seem like there's someone inside?
You don't know.
Can I try and look?
All right, you attempt to look. There's no back window.
There's a wall in front of you.
Fuck.
You see a
So,
door.
We want to
For
get
some reason,
in...
this window is very opaque.
We want to get in this door, right?
Yes.
Stealthily and quietly.
Thinking, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright, front door it is.
Yeah, I don't think sticking anything in there is going to be wise. If it shoots needles, I dread to think what will happen if we try again.
Actually, Momo, do you think you could check if there's any sort of, like, roof access or anything like that, maybe?
Oh,
Good
clever
idea.
idea. I will. So I flap my little wings and I check.
You flap up to the roof. Doesn't look like there's roof access in the bounty.
Is it because I can't see, or there's definitely no roof access?
You cast light so that you can see and investigate. Doesn't look like there's roof access.
Damn.
Yourself out.
Alright. So, as we go around to the front, I'm going to check this time and make sure there isn't any sort of security at the front.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Please no nat one this time. Thank you.
Nice.
It looks like this isn't any ordinary lock. This lock is also trapped and shoots needles out. Looks like they're designed to catch and, like, basically ruin thieves' tools. Not breaking them, but enough to the point where removing all the needles would cause some obvious pinpricks in the hand and probably hurt a whole lot.
On that note, are Mal's thieves' tools still penny?
They are still covered in needles.
Now, I can understand if someone had uncovered hands, but if someone were wearing, say, gloves of thievery...
Hey.
Make a sleight of hand check with advantage to remove the needles.
Alright.
Look at you with your big brain.
Oh.
Yeah, it's mean and it's pokey, but eventually you do manage to pull out several of the needles. And the thieves' tools are usable again.
Yay!
Nice.
Don't mess up this time, eh, mate?
I'll try my best. Alright, let's do this again. No advantage. Am I doing the back again, or am I doing the front? I'm sorry.
The
That's
front.
Scott
You're doing the
talking.
front.
Me too.
This one, knowing there's a needle trap, you manage to slowly and carefully make your way through so that you poke at it without getting your thieves' tools pierced and impaled. And eventually you hear a click, but this is a good click, because this click means that the lock pops open.
And we are
Die.
in.
Nice.
Not fun.
Alright, who's
Right.
going in first?
I will. I'm the one who's probably the most, inconspicuous.
Hope there are lights on in there.
We'll see. Trevlon pokes his head in.
Alright, make a perception check.
Oh, sorry, that was a disadvantage again.
I'll take the 13. Looks like no one's home.
Before Trevlon goes in, can I roll Arcana to determine whether or not there are any more magical traps?
Sure, yeah.
As someone who has experienced the traps before, let me assist on that.
Yeah. Yuck!
Not much better.
You don't detect any magical traps.
Looks like the coast is clear. Pop in. And Trevlon walks through the door.
I guess Bethagap also walks through.
Okay.
Momo also walks through, but tiptoes hesitantly.
Alright. You make your way into the store.
Is there anything noticeably different about it now that it's all locked up and closed?
Not especially. Not unless you're going into the back, in which case you can actually do some investigation in there.
Speaking of which, is there like a button or a mechanism by the register to open the back?
It's just a door you walk through.
Okay, well let's Trevon keeps on moving forwards, taking the lead to make sure that, if there's anybody at front, they see him first.
Cool. You go on into the back.
Can I roll investigation?
Yes.
I will help you with that.
Yay! Advantage point.
Big advantage.
I'm the advantage man.
You're the advantage boy. You're the advantage boy.
gonna
You're
eat
the
it.
one who rolls.
Yeah.
I roll!
Alright. You take a look around, looking for any secret passages. There's obviously the back door, but given that's probably not where they fit an ox through, you pry open a box, and it doesn't open, per se. You just hear a click, and then and look to the side. A trap door has slid aside.
Oh dear.
Okay then. Yeah, that's open. Okay. I'll go first. Wish me luck.
Good luck, Trevor.
Wait.
Yes.
Is that another trap?
Good question.
Make a perception check.
Let me take a look.
Okay.
Yeah, let's let Mal take this one.
Okay. Don't screw up now.
Woof, double.
You are very certain there are no traps on the trap door.
It looks like it's clear.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if I don't get mauled. Trevlon cautiously steps down.
I follow after him.
Alright. You step down the trap door. As the rest of you follow, you light something up. The stairs quickly give way to stone-cut tunnels instead.
Interesting.
Oh.
Oh?
This doesn't look peculiar at all. How old do these tunnels look?
Pretty old.
How long has the establishment been standing?
They said it's been in the family for generations.
Okay, well that would line up then.
Are the tunnels damp in any way?
They're fairly damp, yes.
Okay.
Considering we found tunnels before in the tavern, this doesn't really surprise me too much.
It seems like every prophetic big business owner seems to own their own secret chamber.
Well, the whole city rests on a network of sewers, so, I mean, it only makes sense that there are tunnels and the like.
If we went far enough, I wouldn't doubt it if we eventually hit a pipe at some point.
Let's go find out. Let's find out and see where this leads first, then. Yeah.
Agreed.
Let's be a bit cautious.
All right. You continue to walk through the tunnels, and continue to walk, and continue to walk. There are places where the paths split, and you realize, oh, maybe it's not just a case of keeping someone in a cellar. Maybe this is a really big network of tunnels.
Okay.
Nice.
Of a sort.
Out of character, I'm honestly surprised you haven't loaded up a new map, Alex.
Me too, I'm worried.
So we come across a split. We come across a fork in the road. Is that what you were saying? Or
you've come across a fork in the road. Yes.
Right. In that case, Thavagath will bring out his big meaty snout and sniff each of the things. Effectively, I'm seeing if I notice anything noticeable about each of the tunnels, like foot traffic signs or something like that. I don't fucking know.
Make a survival check.
Survival, thank you. I can't remember which one. Shut up! Stop laughing at me out with your piece.
No, I'm picturing Thavagath, the 8-foot-tall Goliath barbarian, on his hands and knees,
like
sniffing this damp, probably moldy stone tunnel, and then just being smells like rocks.
Smells like
dirt here.
Yeah. You smell. It smells pretty bad down here. Like, not liquid ass level smells because you're not directly in the sewers, but this is not a very clean system of tunnels.
Smells like mildew.
And I know I'm asking too much with the 7, but do I notice any particular difference between each of the tunnels, or are they both equally assy?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Alright.
You got punked.
Is there any sort of lighting down here?
Nope. I'm just assuming Momo's glowing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, one path or another. Which way is it, boys?
Thavagath takes out a cup of...
Takes out what?
Yeah, you cut out.
Takes out...
Yes.
Cut out
Yes,
again.
you cut out again at the exact same place.
How...
Oh god.
Oh no!
No. Oh.
It cut off his hello. This is bad.
I can hear you guys pretty well.
Okay, keep saying. We can hear you again.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Thavagath takes out a copper piece and flips it. Alright, 2. We go for the one on the right.
Alright.
I have no idea what happened there.
He flipped a copper piece.
No. I know what happened there, but I pressed some combination of buttons that caused a dramatic zoom in on Mozilla Firefox.
Oh, cool.
Great. Fun. Anyway, you flipped a copper piece, and it's great. As I scroll down through, hey guys, remember the 50 revivifies? Alright. I
panic!
You go down...
It's okay.
You go down the right-hand tunnel. The sound of, like, dripping and, like, waves of water gets a little bit louder. It's still muffled by rock walls, but you can hear more and more, like, ocean sounds the further you get down this tunnel.
Well, I guess we keep going.
Yep.
All
What
right.
does the air smell like?
Where's the
What does
source
it
of it?
smell like?
It smells salty.
Where's the source of the water coming from?
Make a perception check.
Alright.
So it's coming from like the sides of you and below you, but what really gets your attention, Malifane, there seems to be some water above you as well. If you didn't know better, this was an underwater tunnel.
Oh. Guys, we're not below ground. Well, that is to say, we're below water.
Oh, interesting. Are we going onto the docks or something?
It's possible.
That would make sense.
The
The kidnapped people were supposed to be on the boat, and they are not on the boat, apparently.
But why does the...
So, logical conclusion would be they're hiding somewhere near the boat.
We're looking for the other set of kidnapped people.
Yeah.
But why would
shit,
the cavern
never
system
mind,
from... But why would specifically a cavern system from the groceries lead to the docks?
Well, I mean, if they're fencing stolen goods.
Yeah, import, export, all that kind of good shit.
There's only one way to find out where this leads, really, and that's to keep following. So, keep your eye out for any floods or anything like that.
Right.
Alright. You keep on going down the tunnel, and eventually you come across a rotted wooden stairway.
Ooh,
Heading
yummy.
up or down?
Looks like it heads up and then turns a corner.
Do you want me to go take a look?
Let me do it
hold on.
first.
Hold on.
Good luck.
Are there any refuse and rubble lying around?
Make an investigation check.
Hmm.
7, really, again?
Get one more and you can win the lottery.
Navigeth, looks like stairs.
Well, this seems perfectly safe. Who wants to run up first?
Me, I do.
Yep.
You sure about this?
Okay, right. Cool. Let's do this. Trevlin walks up the stairs.
Wait, actually. Lightest person here would probably be Momo. It would make sense to go lightest first.
Yeah, but there's a corner up there. We might be stumbling right into where people are.
It might be an ambush.
Exactly.
Time to stand under the stairs and spot Trevlon so he doesn't fall through them.
That sounds good. I'm a fan of that. Would I be able to roll stealth, by the way, to peek around the corner first? If I get to the top of the stairs safely?
Yeah. Okay. You get to the top of the stairs as they go under your weight, and you peek around the corner. It looks like around the corner there's a very short, thin corridor, like maybe 10 feet across, that goes to another set of wooden stairs leading down. Not as far up as the up staircase, but still downwards a little bit.
More stairs.
I sort of gesture to keep following as I go down the stairs.
Okay. So I have
follows after him.
So I have assumed marching order based on the lightest first idea.
Yeah, based
I
on
think
weight,
that makes
just
sense.
to make sure
Yeah.
that...
Okay.
My halfling dad is right behind
Yes,
me,
map.
so I'm okay.
I love map.
Big map fan. Oh, it's a big
So,
map too.
hey
Holy shit.
audience, guess what? We've got some fancy new tokens to show off. Look at them. They're no longer gradient backgrounds with impossible to see names on them.
I have an ox over mine for some reason.
You have an ox
you
over
pretty.
yours, and now we know the reason.
Wait, really?
You bought an
Because we have an
ox.
ox.
Wow,
It wasn't mine, though.
I legitimately don't see an ox. Cool.
Hang on.
It's hiding under Trevlon's name tag.
There
It's
it
at the
is.
very top of the
there's
ring.
the ox.
A, it's not my ox, and B, I don't think we brought it with us.
Yeah,
It's still ours. It's our party's Ox. He's ours by proxy.
Sure.
Ox belongs to all the people
Get
in
used to
equal
it.
measure. Glory to Arstotzka.
So,
I'm glad you're enjoying this.
Ox production.
All right.
What?
never mind.
Keep going.
No, I'm curious now.
I'll message you.
All right. So,
Okay.
as you sneak down the stairs, Trevlon, you hear two people chatting. All right. I got a good one for you. Dancer at the Fiery Grog, Mermaid Queen, High Priestess of the Mermaids. Fuck, marry, kill.
Okay. These are my kind of people.
And then you hear a different voice going, that's a freaking easy one. Fuck the dancer, marry the queen, kill the priestess. And the first was, you're saying you wouldn't want to fuck the queen? And the second was like, it's a simple matter of weight ratio, dude. How am I gonna put it in
These
that?
are my kind of people.
Trevlon,
I appreciate this just for the sake of killing the priest. Scott does, rather, not you know.
well, Trevlon definitely appreciates for killing the priestess. In character, as much as out. Trevlon makes a little shush noise, makes a little shush motion with his fingers as he walks forwards to greet these two dwarves.
Oh dear.
Make another stealth check, unless you're actually trying to get their attention.
I am trying to get their attention.
All right. They hear your footsteps, turn around, scramble to their feet, and they're like, boys, we got an intruder! And then you hear the sound of several swords being drawn. And because we're 20 minutes before time, I'm going to call it there.
Walrus, you're a fool, and I hope you get.
I didn't realize that they would be like, even to the freaking owners of the shop, they'd be immediately like, hey, we got an intruder. I guess, like, oh, fucking hell.
He's a talky
Not the
boy. He wants to talk, okay?
That's what I do.
There are two dwarves in a very deep and secluded cavern in an adventure RP game. What in God's name made you think that they weren't guards?
Also,
not saying they
I don't know if
weren't
you noticed
guards.
this, they have enemy tokens.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
metagaming.
Okay, hold your fucking horses before I pee. Listen. Listen. I'm coming in as an employee of the shop. Trevlon thinks the shopkeepers and these guys are friends. He doesn't immediately assume that anybody that gets down here
All right,
is an
in
enemy.
that case, let me point this out. This is just the default token that came with the enemy type these guys are. These are humans, they're not dwarves, and they're not wearing a uniform from the bounty.
Well then fuck that, let us retry.
No, well,
No,
nah.
it's happened now.
It's happened now.
Yeah,
No.
take
I
this
thought they
back.
were. I thought they were dwarves, but you know what? It's fine. That's my fault for stereotyping beards and frowns for dwarven.
Yeah.
Look, I know I said not to make the joke against me anymore, but who's the racist now?
Everyone in Irion. Everyone in
Everyone in
Irion.
Everyone in Irion at this point.
There may be
Everyone's
precisely
a little
one
bit
person
racist.
who's not racist. Will we ever figure out who? Find out next time on Dungeons and Douchebags Fallen Empires. Bye-bye!
Bye guys.
Bye.